It wasn't just another American fighter rising from the deck that morning. It was the aircraft that would permanently shift the balance of power in the Pacific. On June 19, 1944, over the vast blue expanse of the Philippine Sea, dark blue Grumman F6F Hellcats plunged from altitude with ruthless precision. For the first time, Japanese naval aviators realized they were no longer facing the same war they had dominated in 1941. The era of the Zero was ending, and the skies now belonged to something heavier, stronger, and far more lethal. When those Hellcats dove through Japanese formations, it was not chaotic aggression, it was calculated destruction. The Mitsubishi Zero, once feared across the Pacific, had been built for maneuverability and range, but the F6F Hellcat had been built for survival and victory. It carried armor plating around the cockpit, self-sealing fuel tanks that could absorb punishment, and 6 50-caliber Browning machine guns that converged at deadly range. Behind its rugged frame roared the Pratt & Whitney R2800 double wasp engine, generating 2,000 horsepower, enough to push the aircraft to nearly 380 miles per hour and climb aggressively into combat. What unfolded that day would later be known as the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot. Radar screens aboard American carriers lit up with incoming contacts as Japanese strike waves approached at maximum range. Fighter directors calmly vectored Hellcats into perfect intercept positions. Unlike earlier years of the war, American pilots now arrived in battle with 300 to 400 hours of training. They had practiced carrier landings repeatedly, fired thousands of rounds in gunnery training, and mastered coordinated tactics. Many Japanese replacement pilots, by contrast, entered combat with fewer than 100 flight hours. The first wave of 69 Japanese aircraft never stood a chance. As Hellcats descended from altitude advantage, their guns unleashed controlled streams of fire. Formation discipline, once a strength of Japanese aviation, became a fatal vulnerability. Within minutes, the sky was filled with smoke and falling wreckage. The second wave fared even worse. Radar coordination allowed American pilots to strike from above and behind, exploiting speed and firepower superiority. The difference between the two aircraft was stark. The Hellcat weighed more than twice as much as the Zero when fully loaded. That extra weight wasn't wasted, it was protection. Where the Zero relied on agility and light construction, the Hellcat relied on durability and power. Self-sealing fuel tanks prevented catastrophic fires. Armor shielded the pilot. The R2800 engine provided unmatched performance at altitude. In the thin air above 20,000 feet, the Hellcat could outclimb and outdive its opponent with confidence. As wave after wave collapsed under American defenses, the imbalance became undeniable. Japanese losses mounted into the hundreds. American losses remained minimal by comparison. By the end of June 19th, the Imperial Japanese Navy had lost the majority of its remaining carrier-based air power. The following day, American aircraft launched a long-range counterstrike, pushing the engagement even further west and damaging multiple carriers. This battle was not simply about machines, it was about preparation, coordination, and industrial capacity. The United States had embraced large-scale production and standardized training. Grumman alone would build over 12,000 Hellcats during the war. Every part was interchangeable. Maintenance crews worked through the night, keeping aircraft combat ready. Fuel, ammunition, and spare parts flowed across the Pacific through a vast logistics network. Japanese naval aviation never fully recovered from the losses sustained over the Philippine Sea. Veteran pilots were gone, and replacements could not be trained quickly enough. The Hellcat, designed specifically to defeat the Zero, had achieved exactly that. By war's end, Hellcats were credited with over 5,000 enemy aircraft destroyed in air-to-air combat, with a remarkable kill ratio. The Battle of the Marianas marked the end of Japanese carrier aviation as an effective offensive force. It demonstrated that technology, training, radar coordination, and industrial strength could decisively shape the outcome of modern warfare. And at the center of that transformation was a rugged, dark blue fighter that did exactly what it was designed to do. It protected its pilot, it outperformed its opponent, and more often than not, it brought its men home. The F6F Hellcat didn't just win a battle, it secured control of the Pacific skies.